Hi! This is everything I want to make sewing and knitting by the end of the year, but it's kind of a lot, so we'll see if it happens. I'll start by showing you the two projects that I have in progress. This one is a sweater. The pattern is by Petite Knits. I just think it's gonna be so cute. It's like the perfect, cozy, slightly oversized sweater, and I'm kind of a beginner knitter, so this pattern is like really simple. This is the yarn that I'm using. I knit a sweater last year, and I did everything except for weave in the ends and put on the buttons. So I don't know if this counts as my first or second sweater. The other thing I'm working on right now is my quilt, which I am so excited about. I'm taking a sewing class right now. I'm learning how to sew. I'm just super into fiber arts and making things that I can actually like use and wear. You can check out my vlog where I'm beginning the quilt and doing other fun quilting stuff. Yeah, basically I did all red fabrics with different patterns. I mixed in some pinks and like yellows and purples because at first it was just all red and then it looked like Christmas. And I don't want it to be a Christmas quilt, but I think it's really cute. It has like a vintage feel. I had a little bit of extra fabric where the pieces weren't big enough to fit this square size, so then I combined them to make a square. So like this one is like 2 little strips to make a big square. This one is 3. So I'm like halfway done with the quilt top. The way that I'm going to like attach all of the batting and everything is with little knots at each corner. I don't have like a long arm sewing machine, so I have to do that part by hand, and I don't want to send it off somewhere because I just think it's cool if I do like every part of the quilt. I think for my next quilt, I'd want to try stitching across the whole thing. Speaking of quilts, I have this old sweatshirt. I don't like the color. I think I'm gonna dye it black. And then I want to add a little patchwork piece on here. I've seen some people do this on Pinterest and it looks really cute. They just like do a little patchwork square and put it on a sweatshirt. That'll be like a fun, quick project. I also really want to start making stretched quilts. Some people call them quilt studies or color studies or something like that. Basically, you just make a patchwork piece and then you stretch it over some stretcher bars. And I like how they're kind of perfect for using up scrap fabric. Plus, I went to school for illustration and I took a lot of painting classes and stuff. So a painting quilt is like right up my alley. Before I do that, I probably want to make a sampler quilt because I feel like I could just use some more techniques in my repertoire before I start going off and doing my own thing. But I think sampler quilts look so cute. I think I'd make one like a smaller size as like a throw blanket. I'd also like to try doing some applique. I found this vintage headboard pattern that's like applique flowers and it's so pretty. I just have like an IKEA bed and the headboard is a bluish gray. I just feel like it doesn't match the cuteness of the quilt. So this would be such a little easy DIY. Plus I'd get to try out doing the applique technique. Then I found this vintage quilt of my grandparents and I think I want to turn this into a quilted jacket. I think quilted jackets are so cute and really comfortable and stylish. They just have so much personality and stuff, and I don't feel bad about using this quilt to do it because fabric on here is like the fake quilt thing. Like it's all printed on. This isn't real patchwork, but I think the patterns are so cute. It's like this. But I do think I need to get a little bit better at sewing before I make a full jacket because I want it to be really nice. My next sewing project is going to be this little hood. This pattern is from Merchant & Mills and I just think it's so cute. So I have this wool fabric and it's like, I don't know, is this like tweed or something? It's black and white. It's like tiny little. And then the inside of the hood is going to be this yellow cotton. I feel like it's kind of 60s. I think it could come out looking really cool. The next knitting project I want to do is a scarf because I found this a really cute yarn that I just think would be perfect for a scarf. It has these little bits of flowers and I just think that would look so cute. The brand is Pagewood Farm Eco Blossom, and this is hand spun, handmade yarn. There's also this designer, I don't know if it's degen or degen, but I see their patterns all the time. They make knitwear. A lot of their patterns are a little bit too advanced for me right now, but I would eventually like to make their collared sweater. And then they have really funky designs too, like with holes all over the sweaters. There's one that's a brioche, but my mom said that's too complicated for me to try right now because I guess you can't can't see your mistakes when you're knitting brioche. So down the line, that's something I'd want to do. And then the other stuff that I want to make are presents. If you're friends and family, maybe click off on this part so you don't get any spoilers. I'll start with my aunt's present. I just made this tank top for myself in my sewing class, and I think that my aunt would really like this style of tank top, so I'm gonna make her one for Christmas. Plus, I like making everything in my sewing class twice, like one in the class and then one at home, so that I get extra practice and I can like understand what's going on more. Probably do hers in like a solid color so she could get a lot of use out of it. Then for my other aunts, I want to make them some tote bags or grocery bags. My one aunt is an elementary school teacher, so I think it would be so much fun to make the bag like teacher themed with apple pattern or I don't know, colored pencil pattern, just cute little teacher patterns. I think that would be so fun. This is the pattern that I'm gonna use. I like how it can be like crossbody. There's different sizes. I also really like that it's like lined and reversible. I'm probably gonna make the same one for my other aunt. I'm considering doing it like patchwork because I have all of these vintage fabrics. I think she'd really like that. And then for my boyfriend's mom, I wanna make her an apron. Merchant and Mills has a cute apron. I like how it's like crisscross in the back and it's just slip over. And then it would be fun if I appliqued her name on it or something. So yeah, this list feels actually achievable. I don't know if it's achievable by the end of the year, but it's all stuff that I really plan on making. Let me know in the comments what projects you're working on right now, or if you have any pattern recommendations for knitting or sewing, something you think I would like. Thank you so much for hanging out and chatting with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Meow, 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 meow.